Subtle skills, big results.
Welcome to the Ninja Selling Podcast.
Welcome back, everybody, to the Ninja Selling Podcast. He's Garrett, I'm Matt, and happy New Year. Welcome to 2024. Garrett, it's like we're speaking in the future because it's New Year's Day
There.
for everybody listening, but it's not for us. So it's like over there it's New Year's Day, but right here it's not yet.
Right here, it's not. It's really an amazing thing that we have this portal to be able to go into the future like this. I don't understand how that works,
So cool.
but it's amazing.
It is. It's wild. So happy New Year to you, man.
Happy New Year, man, to you. Happy New Year. Before I can wish it to anybody else, Happy New Year to you and to all of you out there.
This is incredible. Well, guys, welcome to 2024. Thank you so much for being with us. We're rolling into our fifth year of doing the podcast, I believe, right? Wait, 20, 21, 22, 23. So
We're still babies.
no, sixth year. So we've done 5 years now. We're going into our sixth year of the podcast, which is, if I counted that correctly, which is amazing. So thank you everybody for tuning into us, for listening. If you are brand new to the podcast, if you're like, hey, I just decided to jump on this thing in the new year and see what Ninja Selling Podcast is all about, welcome. We appreciate you being here. You can learn more about Ninja Selling by heading to ninjaselling.com, and you could join our incredible community where you can immerse yourself around other people who are learning about Ninja and just supporting each other in general, broadly in this incredible real estate industry. Just head over to Facebook and search for the Ninja Selling Podcast. You'll find it there. And let's dive in. We got a fun, kind of, I guess, like a quicker topic today, but one of the things that's been on a lot of people's minds in general is the thing that I've seen a lot on business plans, Garrett, and that is social media.
Yeah.
However, we're not going to necessarily talk about social media strategies, but we're going to talk about how can you build in your digital commute so you don't get sucked into this stuff, as you were sending me TikToks all morning.
Well, so yeah, well, it's funny because my computer, Matt and I, as you know, we have a little healthy relationship about which one's better, PC or Apple, which we all know the answer. And
Exactly.
my computer did a massive restart this morning. So it took an hour to get it up, and we're sending just junk back and forth to each other from TikTok that we were laughing about. And it's an easy reminder, as much fun as some of the digital pieces in our world and the information that's all around us and social media that's all around us, you can very easily watch how fast you can get sucked down into areas that are absolutely never going to make you a better person. Well, we laughed. I got a good endorphin release. But at the end of the day, it's like I'm not going to look back at that time and say that was one of those critical moments that got me to my goals, made me be the person that I wanted to be, allowed me to be a better parent, allowed me to be a better business owner, allowed me to be a better husband. It's never going to happen through those things. Now, on the other side of that is I did watch an interview the other day. Was it David Goggins? Is that his name?
David Goggins.
Goggins. Sorry, I don't know why I butcher his last name all the time. I was watching him do a live coaching where he was working with somebody. And he basically went through these stages with this gentleman who's really going through a hard time. And at the end of it, like walked him out the other side. And I took so much away from that moment of learning and situations that I'm going through right now and helping me process some stuff and really getting focused. So you look at us, okay, well, we have all this information coming in all the time. It's the same device that I got this totally different pieces of information through. Same platforms, but very different effect on who I am as a human being. And I think we need to protect that, Matt. And that's why I love this topic when you brought it up, is like we have these times in our days that we naturally go to this type of distraction in our world. And are we bringing in positive stuff? Are we bringing in mind-numbing stuff? Are we bringing in garbage? It's so easy to bring in garbage too. The stuff we were sending this morning back and forth to each other wasn't garbage at all. It was hysterical. It was really...
And we had the time to do it because we were waiting for your computer to do its thing.
Yeah, thanks to Windows and PC, yes, which I usually will never badmouth them, but that was an incredible journey this morning. But again, it served a purpose in that moment, but again, never going to help us between the two of us be better people. So
yeah, well, and so Garrett, I mean, I find a lot of the challenge that people have when it comes to social media is, I mean, okay, people have the challenge of what content do I want to produce and all that stuff, and that's a different topic. Yep. That's not what we're going to talk about today. But what I see people do is they get into their like, well, what do I do? We talk about reviewing your people that you follow and all this stuff, but like, how do I do that? And we had been talking, we actually came up with this idea a long time ago. We just never kind of fully baked it out, which is, well, what if you had a digital commute? Just like if you were commuting to the office, you have a route that you drive, you have a route that you walk or you go through and kind of a typical routine. What if you built that in for your social media time so it didn't interrupt your day? Because I think what happens is people will say, oh, you know what? I should just go check social and see if there's new stuff on there. Instead of having pre-planned times to go in and say, hey, I'm going to go onto Facebook. I'm going to do this. I'm going to go on Instagram. I'm going to go onto TikTok. This is how I'm going to do this. And it's going to be capped at 20 minutes total. And then I'm going to move into the next part of my day. And I think this is an opportunity that everybody can build out their own digital commute to help manage their time on these platforms and extract a lot of value and give a lot of value while they're there as well, Garrett.
And what I love about your analogy of a digital commute is like, you got to imagine you're driving to work in the morning and there's a car accident and it's really hard not to like slow the car down. All of a sudden your eyes are off the road. They refer to it as rubbernecking. And that's the, and you're sitting there trying to see what happened over here on the side and it's totally stopped. We got traffic now. Everything has come to a screeching halt. And I was sitting here thinking about your analogy of this digital commute. I'm like, you know what? Facebook Reels are like a car accident happening. Like you're sitting there and you're trying to go through and you're trying to kind of data mine your database, your people, see what's happening in their world, who you could follow up with, who maybe you could write a great note to, who maybe you need to get together for lunch because you haven't seen them in so long. Then all of a sudden there's this Facebook Reel or this, short and you're like, oh, what's that? And all of a sudden you click on it and you're in this tunnel of, well, I don't know. I've had it happen before where all of a sudden you look at the time and you're like, wait, what happened in the last 45 minutes?
Yeah. Yeah.
So I think like having this really like, it's almost, Matt, like making rules of like how you drive to work, how you do your commute. When you're younger, you're caught distracted by all these things as a new driver. As you become older and wiser when you're driving, the best thing you can do is not look at the accident and look forward and just accelerate. And we're all sitting there going like, come on, guys, keep moving. Like we got to keep going. And I think these are the conversations you need to have in your mind as you're walking through your digital commute every day. And I think if you have a planned out digital commute, you can make that time with social media amazingly powerful in your business and in your world. And this is the kind of the game we play all the time. But usually we don't have a plan.
Yeah.
Most of us have no plan around this at all.
And so what I would encourage people to do is sit down and think about what do you want that plan to look like? And I think there's a couple elements here depending on which apps that you like to use, because there could be a posting element. Like maybe you're one of those people that likes to make a post a day, a positive quote or something like that. And I would also make sure that whatever you're doing with this digital commute to keep it positive, like don't go down the rabbit hole of complaining or engaging kind of low negative or high negative quadrants of energy when you're in these apps. You want to be in either the low positive or the high positive when you're there.
Just use the word value.
Yeah.
Whatever you're sending out, whatever you're saying, just go, is this providing value or am I firing people up? Just go with value.
Yeah. For example, for me, my Instagram stories gets a little snapshot typically every morning. That's, hey, did morning movement. Hope that you guys have a great day kind of thing. And that's just kind of part of my digital commute. But you can also do the engagement side and say, hey, you know what? I'm going to view a few stories and I'm going to comment. I'm going to reply back to 3, right? I'm going to comment on 2 Facebook posts. And you can give yourself kind of a minimum engagement measure so that you're actually also doing some flow with your people in these platforms. Because that's the biggest, we've talked about this before, the biggest thing that's missed on social media is actual engagement. People look for, well, I'm waiting for people to comment on my stuff. No, go comment on theirs. Go engage with them. That's going to help them come back and engage with you. And if you build a routine out of it, think about it. If you do 3 comments a day as part of your commute, by the end of the week, that's 15 comments. By the end of the month, that's 60 comments that you've done to engage people in your world, which is takes no more than a couple of minutes to do.
And what's fun too, I mean, in those comments, my philosophy with my comments that I make is, can I make a comment that's going to end up get responses on there? Not just like a, hey, congratulations, but like, a comment that's actually going to make somebody come back and engage my comment. And you can actually get into a really fun banter with people where this one post now takes a life of its own. I've even had people come back and they're like, it's so funny to watch you post on something, because then to watch your banter with the person, like people then watch that. It's an interesting thing that can kind of take place in these platforms that are out here. I think one, you need to have, I like what you're saying, is one is like, we're all waiting for someone to look at our stuff, but engage in other people's stuff because they're waiting just like you're waiting.
Mm-hmm.
We all do it. So when they put something out there, they're being vulnerable, engage that stuff and give them that dopamine hit or endorphin hit.
Yeah.
And then on the flip side of it is that have a plan around this. I like what you said about like, okay, this many comments, I'm going to look at these many posts. I might post something out there and then have a time where you turn it off.
Yeah.
And shut it down and be like, okay, good. Now we get to move on with other stuff, because it can easily become that place that you blink and so much time has passed.
And I would say, Garrett, for that, you set a max of like 10 minutes in the morning and maybe 5 to 10 minutes in the afternoon. Have a morning commute, and you can have an afternoon commute, so that, because what you said is you write the comments that create engagement. I think that's awesome. And then we get stuck in like, oh, I got to go back and see if they commented back and check those notifications. Well, if you give yourself 2 commute times through the day, that gives you, okay, in the morning, you drop your comments. If anything happens during the day and reply to you, you can go back in the afternoon and check it out. You don't have to worry about being beholden to this app throughout the day and, oh, let me check these notifications to see how people are responding because I got to do it in the moment. You don't have to.
Well, it's just like voicemail. It's like voicemail and all this stuff. Like, it will hold it for you until you're ready to go look. It's not like you lose it.
It's not going anywhere.
I don't have to go back to somebody's post going, hey, did they comment on my post yet? It just will tell me. So the beauty of it is that you can set these times and you can say, okay, I'm going to check it here, and you're not missing anything at all. And you get a chance to respond back. And you said 10 minutes, Matt. 10 minutes is a long time. Like, I think a lot of us look at that and go like, well, that's not very long. But at the end of the day,
it's a really long time.
It's a long time. You can get so much done in 10 minutes. It's like when we talk about the 5-step calling process and making phone calls, and people are like, only 2 to 3 minutes. Like, that's the time I get to make these phone calls. You're like, really schedule and plan that out. And you're going to realize how long 2 to 3 minutes is and what you can accomplish in 2 to 3 minutes. If you have a plan around what you're doing, then that's the same thing with this. Like with 10 minutes, oh my gosh, the amount of posts I can read, the amount of people I can comment on, the amount of people I can put little hearts by their great post. I can do so much of that in a 10-minute time period and potentially even create my own content.
Yeah. I mean, well, and if you start to get really kind of OCD about this in a way, you can even create a little program for yourself where you have little checkboxes on a spreadsheet or something where you can say, okay, here's going to be my route that I run every day when I hop into my social media apps. I'm going to hit Facebook first. I'm going to go here. I'm going to do 10 likes or reactions. I'm going to do 3 comments, and I'm going to do 1 post, right? And you can even...
I see a form, Matt. I see a form.
You can have this post pre-created for yourself. Like you can even map out, hey, Mondays is this theme. Tuesdays is this theme. And you could start, I mean, you could really get pretty organized with this.
Here's what I want. I want to see people that create a digital commute for themselves. We have go into the Facebook group, go into our community, and I think we could see some awesome, because I think there's things that we're not thinking about, Matt. I mean, we're sitting here having kind of like an in-the-moment conversation.
Well, and we have our own apps that we use, like I'm not on TikTok, right? So I don't know what a TikTok commute would look like.
Oh, it's super beneficial. There's so much value in TikTok and making you a better person and creating a better life.
Funny you say that. And this is a total sidetrack because now I'm getting, distracted here and I'm going to feed into it. I've been getting a lot of advertisements for TikTok where the ads are these videos of talking about how beneficial, like TikTok's changed the world. It's changed our business, and all these like really feel goody ads about TikTok. So exactly, that's the brand that they're going for, man.
They're believe me, everything that I saw this morning, and it might just be what's in my feed.
You sending that video of the dog for that I can't believe that video is actually only 10 years old. I remember that video a long time ago. It was a great one. Anyway,
so I think with these, I lost track of where we're at, Matt. But
the maple kind.
Really? Okay, you're lost in our world. I apologize, everybody out there. Matt and I are spinning out of control.
Yeah. So we want to hear what you guys have as your ideas as you start to build out your commutes, and share that in our Facebook community, which can be part of your digital commute, by the way, is hopping into the Ninja Selling Podcast Facebook community and seeing if there's referral opportunities, seeing if somebody has a question, or posting your own question. That could be part of your commute.
Seeing if you can help somebody with some place that they're stuck in. I mean, these are all, again, this is in the podcast community, but I would love to see what people put together. And you don't have to have your whole spreadsheet. If you just literally wrote out on a piece of paper, here's what would be a beneficial digital commute for a 10-minute window that I'm going to set aside in my morning, and maybe one in your afternoon, to be like, here's the things I'm going to check. Here's a post that I'm going to make. Maybe you say, inspirational quote that I'm going to post. Tona Ristine posted a post the other day that, and here's what when I say like make a post, one that's going to get people's attention. Tona Ristine's an amazing coach that we have in our community as a ninja coach. I love her dearly. And she put this, because she's so sweet and wonderful. And she put this post out that said, it was a picture, and it said, until you believe in yourself, I will believe in you enough. And it was this thought of, it literally was like, every bit of what is inside of me as a coach when we're coaching people, and we watch this amazing potential that they have in their world and surrounding them, and they have these limiting beliefs and these things that are holding them back, and maybe some bad habits that are stopping them from getting to be the person that they want to be, and they can see it, but they don't believe in it yet. And I love that quote, and I kind of maybe messed it up a little bit, but that's the general gist of it. But like those types of things, Tona grabbed something that meant something to her. She put it out there, and I've talked about it probably 10 times since she posted that, because I thought it was so special. And that didn't take a whole lot of time, but if you had it in your digital commute, and Matt, as you said, a checkbox where you can say, okay, boom, hit this one, and you can start making some pretty big impacts, one there with what you put out, and second is what you're able to affect others with in their stuff that they've put out. You got to have a plan around this, though. And I could probably go to 100 realtors and not find anybody that actually has a plan about how they engage social media or the digital commuter on a day-to-day basis. Matt, you're probably the same.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. So, I mean, that's kind of the gist of it, Garrett. I mean, this isn't a complex topic, really. It's figure out how do you build a little bit of structure in commuting around these apps so that you don't find yourself stuck in them. And if you're curious about how much time you spend in there, just go into your phone and screen time in the settings. And all phones have this. Androids and iPhones all have the screen time in there. Just go into your settings and it'll tell you how much time you spend each day on these apps. And I bet you'll start to reduce that time if you build into your routine this little bit of a digital commute.
Yeah, no, I think you'll be amazed at what you can accomplish, the amount of people you can connect with and positively affect. In the gist of Ninja, one of the activities we have is database mining or social media mining, which is what it's been kind of referred to, which is, again, going in and finding people that you can it will increase pleasure or decrease pain in their life by finding people that are dealing with life changes. This should be part of your world of Ninja, and leaning into finding people that are having these life changes so you can build your warm list. You can find the people that are potentially needing your help out there, so that you can help them get down the path. Like, this should all be part of your business. We just shouldn't be doing it because we're bored.
Yeah.
We should be doing it with strategy.
Well, it's such an easy, I look at it and these are easy touch points to have. These aren't going to replace your live forwards. It's not going to replace anything in your Ninja 9, but these are easy additional touch points that, for better or for worse, we have found to be valuable in our society now, right?
Yep.
And if people are in, it's just like going to any venue, whether it's digital or live. If people are hanging out in a place, if you go hang out there, you're going to be able to talk to them.
Yep.
But measure your time because you can get sucked in.
So for those of you that are joining us in the future, which is New Year's Day,
Whoa.
I hope you're having an amazing New Year's. I hope you are celebrating what 2023 was and the greatness that came out of that. We actually got an incredible year that we just were able to experience, where we got to go and live our lives and do our things and travel where we wanted to travel and be with the people that we wanted to be with. It was an amazing year, 2023. 2020, the years before it, I had a lot of people in coaching that were coming to me going, good riddance, we're done with that year, let it go. I have nobody saying that about 2023 in my world right now. Nobody's coming to me saying that was the worst, or I'm done with it, or move on, we need new beginnings, new change. Nobody's really saying that to me in my worlds. So I want to celebrate that. And I want everybody to look into 2024 because I think it's going to be an amazing year. I'm watching the energy of people. I'm watching the plans that people are putting together, the optimism of our world and where we're kind of at. And I know there's lots of different routes with social media. You can find all kinds of stuff out there that might tell you different. But I'm telling you, the people I'm hanging around, we are seeing a very, very, very fun year ahead of us. And I hope you're finding those people for yourself as well. And Matt, I'm looking forward to an amazing year with you, man. Thank you so much.
Same here, man. It's going to be absolutely amazing. And so thank you, Garrett. Thank you, everybody, for tuning in. We'll catch you on the next one.
Thanks. If you enjoyed today's episode and would like more, visit us at theninjasellingpodcast.com.
There you will also find links for more information about ninja selling and coaching. Have an incredible day.